Welcome to the Industrial IoT Spotlight, your number one spot for insight from industrial IoT thought leaders who are transforming businesses today. With your host, Eric Walenza.
Welcome back to the Industrial IoT Spotlight. I'm joined today by Hunter Dong. Hunter is the Director of Global Strategic Partnerships at SAP. Hunter, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thank you, Eric, and IoT ONE. It's a great chance. We would like to share our observation and industry trend with the team and audience. Thank you.
So, Hunter, before we jump into broader discussion about SAP and its evolution, give us a quick background into yourself. What's your role in the organization?
So I'm managing the global strategic partnership, just like the Lenovo, Huawei, and China. Definitely, we have the Alibaba, Tencent, and Baidu. All of these internet giants, they are moved to the enterprise, moved to industry IoT build. So we have a lot of things on the technology collaboration and business go-to-market. So based on that, I think based on all the strategic partnership, we can contribute a lot to the market and to our customers and partners.
You're focused on working with the Chinese multinationals primarily in China, or are you also working with them globally?
Yeah, just step out from China to global. So we definitely have the more reference and footprint in Latin America, Africa, EMEA, and the Middle East. So it's a pretty much global collaboration.
Okay, great. Yeah, I mean, let's focus on SAP for this first segment, but I'd really like to dive more into your relationship with these Chinese players in the later part of our conversation. But let's shift our focus now to China in particular. Maybe we can start with Leonardo. Where is Leonardo in terms of market adoption in China? Are you currently in the process of go-to-market? Do you already have customers here? What does it look like for Leonardo adoption in China?
We are very happy to introduce the global best practice to China markets and our local partners. So we started from 2017. We built up the program to enable all the ISV and the partners to have more investment together with us in the China market. And now we are educate and empower the partners. We are still in the promotion stage and analysis what China customer specific they are asking for. So we already recruit pretty much strong partners. We leverage the Accenture, we leverage the Lenovo, Huawei, Hand, and the local partners together, and also co-innovated with the industry ecosystems and together to build up the value chain in China and transportation, logistics, and check entries, connected fleet for elevator manufacturing. All of these are our focus points this year in China.
Okay, so it sounds like your focus point is a bit more on supply chain. You know, the Made in China 2025 policy, which I'm sure you're very familiar with, is very expansive, right? It covers, and then you have kind of the Internet Plus policy as well, which is even broader. But the digitalization focus here covers pretty much every segment of the economy. But is it the case then that in 2018, you're primarily focused on, let's say the supply chain parties? Is that right? So logistics, manufacturing. Are you also looking into spaces outside, or do you save those for 2019 and beyond?
We have the segmentation analysis among 25 industries we defined. So a couple of them is very hot and more mature to embrace new technology, and they are investing more and more. For some of the other industries, they are just started their digital journey. So for China, for 2018, that's why we focus on and started pretty much from the transportation, logistics industries. So that's so important to make the reference. We also work with the China government and the university institution together to contribute, make the demos to promote and align with the policy of the China manufacturing 2025. Yes.
And then who are you seeing as the companies that are the most ready to begin digital transformation in China? I mean, if we segment it into the state-owned enterprises, the private Chinese enterprises, and then the multinationals, who do you see as the companies that in 2018 are kind of ready to move beyond pilots towards real deployments?
For all of these export-driven manufacturing customers, for example, for some home appliance, electric devices manufacturing, for mobile phone, and for some high-tech companies, they already have the global footprint, and they are working well both in China and global. All kind of these companies, they do request a global consistent for their business process, for their manufacturing system, and the logistics. So they are asking SAP to help them to optimize, to build up the end-to-end life cycle of the systems. So we call the co-innovation instead of just the simple solution selling. So we have the service team, we have the dedicated design thinking team to work with customer, spend a couple of weeks and a month together to define their digital transformation journey. So that's what we are doing. That's what we are investing in China.
So you're looking for companies that already have global operations and are trying to align processes and improve efficiencies across global and standardize operations across global. What challenges are you seeing in the China market in terms of either communicating to your initial customers or helping them to move from decision making towards implementation? What are the challenges that you see unique to the China market?
A couple of points, based on my personal observation. The first thing, if the customers, they should make the final decision, what kind of the platform they would like to choose for their future business. By end of last year, we have seen over 168 industry IoT platforms in China. From the S, PaaS, we do miss the key application, the SaaS layer. That's where SAP we would like to contribute to China. The second, the IoT is not new. For manufacturing, sensor already there, and optimization is also not new. But the cost, the customers need to balance to manage a ROI model. So how much I would like to invest today or in future? And the huge demand of the customization. If I don't offer such kind of the flexible goods or logistics, our customers will do that. The people pursue the individual unique product to show their own personality, from shoes to automobiles. So that's the challenge to market, also to SAP. We definitely will offer the better solution to help our customers, partners run business simple.
Okay, clear. Yeah, I guess, and those are problems across the market. So identifying ROI, very challenging for companies that are developing IoT solutions for the first time. In terms of data security, privacy, are these issues that come up frequently, or is it more the business-oriented issues that are the focal point for your discussions?
Yes, and also for Chinese market, our customers, some of them do would like to keep their data in-house, not running on public cloud. That's okay. And also we support private cloud mode for business process handling. And in future, the customer would like to have the hybrid mode cloud. It's also okay. We definitely fully compliant with the local regulation.
And I've heard this before as well, that companies in China tend to have a higher preference for keeping technology in their own servers as opposed to holding on the cloud. I think it might have actually been one of your colleagues from SAP who was saying that people were buying their cloud platform as an add-on and then not using it because maybe like the somebody in their board of directors said, we need to explore cloud. So they would just kind of purchase it and then it would sit there unused for 2 years because in reality they just were not comfortable moving data to the cloud. So maybe that's still a transition in mindset that has not yet happened in China. What most excites you if you look, let's say, look past 2018? I think we're still in 2018 in a very kind of early market education phase. But if we look out into 2019, 20, what trends most excite you where you see that there's a really big opportunity both for SAP, but also for companies in general in China to differentiate based on industrial IoT solutions and added capabilities?
It's a big question. So my point of view, especially focus on the ecosystem and the partnership. I'm looking at the collaboration in this market. The collaboration, it means both SAP and value chain partners and also customers. Take the manufacturing, for example. People and management as a customer and partner, they are quite familiar with the so-called operational technology, the OT. And some partners and customers, they have the IT. So my understanding, both IT plus OT is the IoT. So it means, okay, if the value chain and system end-to-end solution, the customer business will need. So I would like to say in the next 3 years, we would like to have the more standard the business processing to handling all the data and generate more business value above today's system. That's the one of trend. And the second, we would like to see more and more the SaaS, the application on the cloud, more easily to access by our customers, especially in the mobile devices. That's the 2 points I would like to share.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I see a lot of companies working on developing more standardized solutions and helping to reduce complexity and implementation cost for their customers. And I agree. I think that's going to be a big lever to increase deployments and make it an easier decision for end users to adopt. Right now, it's still, in many cases, pretty hefty upfront cost, and then also a lot of uncertainty around product development. So as SAP continues to standardize, I think that'll be a great market mover for end user adoption. You had mentioned at the start of our conversation, you're working with Huawei, you're working with a nice suite of partners. I know this is a little bit of a sensitive topic, but in the IoT space, companies are competing with other companies that were never a competitor before, right? The boundaries in terms of, and they're also collaborating with competitors that previously they wouldn't collaborate with before, right? So the boundaries are shifting. How does this look for SAP? I mean, you're expanding your scope of business. You're partnering with a wider range of companies. How do you look at this kind of collaboration competition dynamic in the China market?
The first thing, we are pretty much the application provider. It means we have no plan to offer any hardware. For example, from the server, from the sensor, from the backhaul transportation. It's not our focus. We would like to quite open with all these partners. And for the industry solution provider, from the communication, the telco provider, and the carrier, and also for the integration provider. So we are quite open. And in some fields, there's overlapping. That's okay. We all have the strong industry focus. We SAP, for example, for the IoT field, we also have a quite strong solution in entertainment and sports. So there's somewhere totally different from the manufacturing. It's totally okay. And I don't think the market, although it's over 100 platforms, can survive in the next couple of years. So what's unique value proposition and who would like to work with, such as SAP, we're offering the SaaS, that will have the more better growth and have more customers.
Yeah, that's funny. That's actually, I think for SAP, actually a very good value proposition, which is that we will still be here in 5 years, right? A lot of the companies out there that I think are building really interesting products, but unless they find a way to scale their revenue quickly, as investors, money starts to dry up, a lot of these companies will be headed towards bankruptcy. But that's just how it happens, right? New market. Last question, Hunter, from my side. I know you've got to run in a moment. So we have end users, technology providers, a range of people in our audience. If you were talking to an end user who is looking at how IoT solutions can help address a new an existing challenge in their supply chain, what advice do you give companies as they start to take the first steps of assessing a solution, so that they can prepare themselves for an intelligent, successful decision-making process?
Don't hurry to choose a solution at the beginning. Okay, that's my advice to the end user customer. So make analysis. What today is your business focus on, and what's your future business? In the back end, how we can make sure our end-to-end system can sustain, can support, can lead this business transformation journey. Just like the Phase 1 Explorer. Do please spend some time with kind of your partner, for example, SAP together, to analyze your business and how we can define is the journey. For example, the 5 years journey from the step 1 to 3. That's key. And then emphasize and make decision on the high priority where we start. Maybe kind of the optimization is good at the beginning, not just the new solution.
Makes sense. So don't choose a technology solution to begin with, but instead focus on looking out. What's your 5-year objective? How is your business going to change? How do you need to scale to accommodate that change? And then work your way back towards the high priority issues, the things that are the most important to address in the early stages. And then I guess you can choose the solution that helps you to address those solutions, but is also going to be able to scale to meet your long-term solutions. That makes a lot of sense. Hunter, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Eric. You and IoT ONE contribute a great access to the industry, particularly reach global view to China market. So thank you.
Final question for our audience in China. How can they get in touch with you and your team if they want to partner or if they want to work with Leonardo?
Okay, free to reach out me to my email address is hunter.dong@sap.com. Dong for DONG, and you can find me in LinkedIn.
All right, Hunter, have a great day.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Industrial IoT Spotlight. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at IoT ONE HQ and to check out our database of case studies on IoT1.com. If you have unique insight or a project deployment story to share, we'd love to feature you on a future edition. Write us at eric.walenza@iot1.com.